Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Wow, talk about fun. Look at these giant Rider-Waite tarot deck cards. They're massive, absolutely massive. And to me, I just thought they look like so much fun. I've got to get them and we've got to play with them. So, what I've decided to do with them is when I'm specifically talking about somebody, I'm going to put their major arcana, if known, on the table, and then we'll read around it. All right. So I'm going today to read about the tragic story of Princess Beatrice's first heartbreak after late Queen ordered her split from a much older American playboy with a dark past. Before her fairy tale wedding in 2020 to Eduardo Mapelli Mozzi, Princess Beatrice had a rather tumultuous, oh boy, tongue, love life. She had a really rough love life. The roller coaster began when the princess was just 17 and had her first public relationship with Paolo Luzio, a then 24-year-old troubled playboy. So she's only 17. He's 24. A little bit of her father's escapades in there. After being introduced by friends, Beatrice and Paolo began dating in July 2005, but the relationship wasn't made public for almost a year. And the romance would soon end in May 2006 when the late Queen ordered Beatrice to break up with her polo playing American beau because of his dark past. So here's my question. Why did the Queen order Beatrice to break up with her American Paolo? And isn't, on a side note here, isn't this interesting? She married another Italian. Apparently she was very much in love with this young man, but he had a bit of a checkered past. But the Queen did not order the breakup of Meghan and Harry, and Meghan had a very checkered past as well. As a prostitute, well, yacht girl or whatever, allegedly, the cards allegedly are trying to say, because we have to remember this is just tarot for fun and entertainment purposes, and we make up stories with our tarot cards. We just read them. So I'm going to ask the cards, why did the Queen order Beatrice's? Yes, she was young. She was 17 when she met him, but they were dating, and when they made it public, she was 18. And he would have been like 25, 26, which isn't that I don't think it's that great of a difference, to be honest. But did not order Meghan. Like, why was the happiness of one grandson, who was much closer to the throne, I have to admit, we have to say out loud, why was that one allowed to fly and Beatrice's wasn't? I could see it was maybe because Beatrice was young, so it's like, hey, let's slow things down. You're only 18. You've got, a long love life ahead of you. Why? What's going on here? So we're using regular size tarot cards. And I'm going to put some cards on here. So for Beatrice, why did she order Beatrice's? Like, what was, it didn't seem like it, like he didn't spend time in jail. He's like a petty crime kind of 24-year-old. Ooh. Maybe she was worried that Beatrice would head off to the United States. She wanted to keep Beatrice close. You have to remember, Beatrice and Harry are quite similar in age. They're not that far apart. 4 years, I think. So why was Beatrice ordered to break up? Then she ended up marrying another Italian. But yet Harry's red file on Meghan was a pass and let them be happy. Why was it not let them be happy with Beatrice? What was the difference? What was the difference? Okay, shall we begin? Ooh, the lovers. Yep, 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 yep. Where's my lovers rock? There it is. All right. The queen may have known that these two were sexually active, and maybe she was worried about a pregnancy out of wedlock. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that. About Harry. Oh, knight in shining armor. Oh, okay. This goes back to the video that HG said that the queen was quite sure that they would be able to tame Meghan. So here's the, let them have what they want. Let Harry be the knight in shining armor, the prince with the offer, and she was quite sure Harry would have been able to tame them. Okay, she always thought this was a waste of, this wasn't going to go anywhere anyways. Maybe the queen could see right through this young man, and this guy's just a money gold digger, and she didn't see it lasting very long anyways. Harry was embattled already at that point. 9 years, you think about it, he's already gone through 2 girlfriends, 2 long-term relationships, 2 serious, also embattled with some of this whispers about Harry and about how he treated women. And perhaps he was at the point now that he's learned his lesson with relationships. He had boundaries around relationships. So maybe she had more confidence in him than what was, than what should have been afforded him. Yeah, she was worried that Beatrice would take off and leave. She wanted to keep Beatrice very close. She knew it would, and also maybe she saw Beatrice was under some stress, maybe pressure to get married, pressure to do things. Let's see, Harry here. Oh yeah, here. Didn't she say she saw her boy, he wasn't happy, let them go be happy. She possibly saw how devastating it was for him to lose his mother, to lose all these girls, and perhaps she just saw how unhappy Harry was, which this reflects what H.G. Tudor said as well. Wow, the tower in reverse. She just saw this was a nightmare waiting to happen. I really think she was worried that Beatrice would get pregnant. And, right, because you look at the 6 of Swords, it's a mother and a child. And then you could almost say this was the American that would take them away. I think she was really worried about that for Beatrice. Wow, judgment in reverse. You know what? Was there not some kind of veiled threat? What did H.G. Tudor say that Harry threatened and said, I'm going to go to the States anyways, or there was some kind of veiled threat here. If you don't allow me to marry her. This also could be the announcement of the fake pregnancy. Definitely something went down with the queen, that he almost threatened the queen in some regards here. Knight of Swords. There was actually a real bust up over this, There's the attacking with words. There were words said about this. This was the queen coming in and saying, out, order. This is the order from the queen. This is true. The breakup was ordered. Here's the breakup. And it was ordered by the queen. It wasn't a simple request. It was definitely ordered. And there could have been a little bit of a dust up over this. Let's see, for Harry. Yeah, the thing is Harry, 7 of Swords, or 7 of Wands in reverse. What he did was indefensible, threatening his grandmother. There's this judgment in reverse is definitely a threat. Well, I'll just go to the States and marry her. We'll just go to the States and you'll never see me again. Right? The judgment is no more chances. This is an actual judgment on what you are saying. So, perhaps if somebody did say, well, maybe you should cool it a little bit. Now here comes the judgment, and now you are in the doghouse. So I'm going to say that what Harry did was indefensible. I'm almost getting, also look at the age difference of the Queen. Uh, you know, she's in her 90s. At that point, they would have known that Philip, was rapidly declining. I think in some respects, it was just totally different situations. I think the Queen was worried about a young Beatrice getting pregnant. I think the Queen knew they were sexually active. The Queen knew this guy was a bit of a gold digger. And perhaps she knew that Beatrice couldn't see that because Beatrice was in love. And I think the Queen was really worried about a young princess being pregnant, and the disaster that would cause. And there were words. There were words. We don't know. Perhaps Beatrice didn't talk to her grandmother for a little while, or just words were spoken. I think, obviously they got over them because Beatrice wore one of her gowns as a wedding dress, and things would have smoothed over. Also, you have to remember Beatrice's age, that teenage angst. I'm not talking to you ever again. I know there's some adults who do that too, but we're going back to then. So it's so interesting that both these grandchildren, were actually not very nice to their grandmother. Both of them weren't. What Harry did was indefensible. I think there's a real threat here that, I've been through a couple of girlfriends. This is the only girl that's ever loved me. And he's looking at his past record of girlfriends. And now he's got, different boundaries, and, he's battle weary. He's battle weary. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. This gal has agreed to marry me. Can we just be happy? And well, let's do a file. And no, or if you do that, I'm threatening. Here's the threat. So the threat was real. The threat was real. And what he did was indefensible. If he would have just maybe they should have never shown him the file or talked about Meghan to him. But she was going to close, right? What's the underlying? Oh yeah, look, I think in some respects, both were nightmare situations. Both were nightmare situations. Anxiety, sleepless nights. I guess, hey, all our grandchildren are targets, to be honest. Perhaps not Mike and Zara because, or not Mike and Zara, Peter and Zara, because they aren't titled, right? But in some respects they are. They'll be gold diggers, that's for sure. Not saying that they married any gold diggers, but it's something to be aware of. And I think all wealthy families have that to worry about. All right. So both for different reasons. Both for different reasons. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Please take good care. See you online. Bye for now.